So we got two decisions effectively today. One found against the president for all intents and purposes, and the other has now granted him a stay.
Yes, exactly. The Manhattan District Attorney wanted to get hold of Trump Organization and the president's tax records going back 6 years. The president filed suit saying the state has no right to do this. The federal judge said, no, not at all. They have, you're not above the law, as it were. And predictably, the president's team was ready to appeal immediately. And the big question was whether or not that the approval that the appellate court would accept this would happen by 1 p.m. Otherwise, at 1 p.m., Trump's tax returns would start flowing out of the accounting firm. So he's won this round. I think long-term, it's a losing argument, but I think long-term doesn't matter. The president's game at this point is to kind of run out the clock or put off the exposure of tax records, et cetera, as far into the future as possible, particularly deep into next year. So, tactically speaking, this is a positive development for him.
Greg, in theory, in practice, presidents can't be charged. Kind of, where does this sit? This whole process kind of sit in that spectrum of what is an investigation, what is a criminal investigation. I'm slightly confused by kind of where this kind of investigation into his tax records is positioned.
Well, part of this is that there's the two-track process in the U.S. There is the Justice Department, which we saw through the Mueller report. One aspect of the Mueller report, as you pointed out, Guy, is a Justice Department policy that a sitting president cannot be charged, cannot be charged criminally. However, at the state level, there's no charge that's being filed. This is just an investigation that is proceeding into a similar aspect that has already resulted in a guilty plea at the federal level. So this is an interesting view for people outside the U.S. as how the state versus federal, the system works. So another aspect of this is that the president's lawyers have claimed, and I'm paraphrasing, that this is either not a witch hunt, but as much as a fishing expedition by a grand jury. At the state level, grand juries are allowed to do that. If there's some aspect of possible criminal behavior, they're allowed to gather evidence, and this will take time. So it's possible that if Trump is no longer president in early 2021, it would be very easy, if a criminal case had been built by then, to be charged. Whether or not that'll happen at the state level in the next 14 or 15 months remains to be seen.
What is the next step now? We have a stay. How long could that stay be for, potentially?
Well, already there's a stay. The president has successfully fended off the House Financial Services Committee's attempt to get his tax records, and that was moved from the federal court in D.C., or the federal court, up to the Circuit Court of Appeals, and that's been 3 months. So he's bought himself several months' time in the Washington case, and there's still no end to that. This could buy him another, I'm guessing at least minimum 3, maybe 6 or more months. It depends on whether the Second Circuit decides that this is worth an accelerated review. And we don't know yet whether or not they're going to speed it up because this is a special case or treat it like any old case, in which case a year could go by.